So much for listening to this episode of Earrings Off. We want to invite you to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook at Earrings Off Podcast and on Instagram at The Earrings Off Podcast.
Welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa. Let's get started.
Hello, and welcome back to the Earrings Off Podcast. I'm your co-host, Teresa, and today I'm diving into something that can truly change your health outcomes. October is Health Literacy Month, a time dedicated to empowering people to understand, access, and use health information effectively. In this episode, I'm going to share how improving your health literacy can completely change the way you interact with your healthcare providers. All too often, we leave appointments feeling unheard or unsure about next steps. But what if we could walk into every visit with confidence and leave knowing exactly how to care for ourselves? This conversation is all about building confidence. You'll learn practical tips on preparing for appointments, asking better questions, and partnering with your doctors in a way that earns mutual respect. Most importantly, we'll talk about how your doctor wants you to participate in your care. It makes their job easier and helps you achieve better outcomes. Okay, let's get into it. I don't know about you, but there have been times I've left the doctor's office more confused than when I went in. Maybe you've been there too. Nodding your head even though you didn't fully understand what the doctor said, or feeling like you didn't get to ask your questions before the visit was over. Well, you're not alone. In fact, most adults struggle with understanding and using medical information. But here's the good news. You can change that. You can walk into your next appointment feeling informed, confident, and ready to advocate for yourself. So, today, we're going to talk about how to prepare for doctor's visits, what questions to ask, and how to make sure you actually understand what's being said. Let's start here. Good communication between you and your healthcare provider isn't just nice. It's necessary. Studies show that when patients understand their care, they're more likely to take medications correctly, follow treatment plans, and avoid unnecessary hospital visits. But let's be real. Most doctor's appointments last 15 minutes or less, and many of us, especially women, often hesitate to speak up. We don't want to seem difficult or take up too much time. Doctors use complex terms, and sometimes we nod along because we don't want to appear confused. That's where health literacy, understanding, and using health information makes all the difference. Your health is your business. You deserve to understand what's going on with your body. I'd like to share a quick story. A friend of mine, I'll call her Samantha. Samantha was prescribed new medication for her blood pressure. The doctor explained it briefly, and she nodded along, but she didn't realize she needed to take it with food. For days, she felt nauseous and weak. When she finally called the office, the nurse said, "Oh, yes, you have to eat before taking that one." A simple question could have prevented all of that. That's how important clear communication is. Being your own advocate doesn't mean being confrontational. It just means being informed. Okay? So now let's talk about how to prepare. The best time to advocate for yourself is before you walk into the office for your next visit. Here are a few ways to get ready. Write down your top 3 concerns. It's easy to forget things once you're sitting in front of the doctor. So before you go, jot down the main things you want to discuss. Maybe a new symptom, a medication side effect, or a change in your energy levels. Bring a list of your medications and supplements. That includes your prescriptions and your vitamins. Everything matters because certain combinations can affect how your body reacts. Track your symptoms. Note when they started and how often they happened and what seems to make them better or worse. This helps your doctor see patterns and offer better solutions. Bring a trusted friend or family member if you're nervous. Sometimes an extra pair of ears can catch details you might miss, especially if you're receiving a lot of information at once. Being prepared helps you feel more confident and ensures you get the most out of that short visit time. And it signals to your doctor that you take your health seriously, and that sets a positive tone for the entire visit. Okay? Now, let's talk about the heart of the matter, asking the right questions. When your doctor explains something, don't be afraid to say, "Can you explain that in plain language?" You'd be surprised how often medical professionals use jargon without realizing it. Once you are in the room, your goal is clarity. Here are a few simple but powerful questions to keep in your pocket. What is my main problem? What do I need to do about it? Why is it important for me to do this? That's actually called the Ask Me 3 approach. It is a simple, evidence-based tool that helps patients understand their care. You can also ask, what are my treatment options and what are the pros and cons? What happens if I do nothing? What side effects should I watch for? When should I follow up? And remember, you don't have to absorb everything in one sitting. Ask for written instructions or even take your own notes. Some clinics even allow you to record parts of the visit on your phone. Just be sure to ask first. Also, if something sounds unclear, repeat it back in your own words. Say, "So, just to make sure I understand, you're saying I should take this twice a day with food, right?" That one sentence can prevent confusion and mistakes. When you ask questions, you're not being difficult. You're being responsible. You're saying, my health matters enough for me to understand it. And here's something many people don't even realize. Doctors really do like it when their patients are informed and engaged. When you come prepared, ask thoughtful questions, and show that you care about your health, it helps them to do their job better. Doctors want to know that what they're explaining is being understood. It means fewer follow-up issues, fewer misunderstandings, and better results. I've spoken to several healthcare providers who've said that working with proactive patients feels like a partnership rather than a one-sided lecture. It's not about challenging their expertise. It's about collaborating to find what works best for you. Think of it this way. When you show up prepared, you're saying, I respect your time and I value my health. That attitude earns respect right back. Doctors also appreciate when patients are honest about medications they're actually taking, lifestyle habits, or challenges sticking to a plan. Transparency helps them tailor care that truly fits your life. So don't hold back or downplay your symptoms. Speak up. That partnership builds trust, and that trust leads to better health outcomes. Okay? Now, your visit doesn't end when you walk out of the exam room. Once you're home, review your notes or the printed summary, log into your patient portal if you have one, and actually read the doctor's notes. That's where you can catch instructions you might have missed. If the office said they call you with test results and you haven't heard back, call them. Don't assume no news is good news. Health literacy isn't just about what happens in the clinic. It's about following through, asking questions later, and staying engaged in your care. Keep a health notebook or digital folder for your records. When you take charge of your information, you're building your own roadmap for better health. Remember, you are the expert on your own body. Your doctor brings medical expertise, but you bring your lived experience, and both matter equally. When you understand your health and feel comfortable asking questions, you're not just a patient, you're a partner in your own care. Health literacy isn't just about reading, it's about understanding and action. When you prepare, when you ask questions, and when you participate, you shift from being a passive patient to an empowered partner. And trust me, your doctor will notice that. So, at your next appointment, take a deep breath, pull out your notes, and remind yourself you belong in that conversation. You're not just a patient, you're your own best advocate. If you found today's episode helpful, share it with a friend who could use a confidence boost in their next checkup. In addition, I would appreciate it very much if you'd like this episode and subscribe to Earrings Off on our website at www.earringsoff.com if you haven't already. Until next time, take good care of yourself and remember, your health is your power. Take good care.